Hey sisters, welcome back to your Big Sisters podcast. I know it's been a minute. This is my second time trying to record. I wanted to do a get ready with me while we chatted, but we're going to try again. I really am so excited because this is my favorite party of the year. It is my friends and I's favorite things party. And so we bring 3 items of our favorite thing and we exchange it. And so this year I got my favorite travel backpack and my favorite hair mask, which is the Eva NYC deep conditioning hair mask. And you're probably like, why are you in a ski suit? And it's because it's ski themed. However, I live in Tampa, Florida. So it's kind of cold outside. It is cold outside. It's cold for me. So it's working. It's fine. But I just love being extra with my outfits. I just adore these friends so much. They are truly the most incredible people ever. They are the first people to show up when I'm having a bad day, the first people to celebrate when I have a life win, the first people just to pray for me, to always be there for me. And for that, I am so grateful. And I wish I could tell myself like 6 months ago, like how much like I would appreciate my friends and like the good friends I have. Because although I believe, that's a lot of blush. Although I believe in God and Jesus and I'm Christian, I do believe like in a lot of things. So I have heard that it is the year of the snake. I think that's Chinese culture. If I am wrong, please correct me. I'm so sorry. However, the year of the snake like smacked me, like truly just like smacked me upside the head. I have shed so many people, like so many things, so many people that don't serve me. And I never thought that I would not be friends with like some of the people I'm not friends with anymore. And I'm also really grateful, which is crazy. I always wish them the best. But I think that a lot of times in your 20s, your friends change and you go through seasons and it's so scary. And I put a poll up for you guys to let me know what kind of friendship things you guys wanted to talk about. And I had someone reply and tell me that they wanted to talk about how friends that you can have for a long time can also leave your life because you are in different seasons or you grow differently, you grow and you become different people. And I couldn't agree more. I lost my friend of 13 years this year. And although like I was super sad, like I'm just like really grateful now to have people who are growing with me, not necessarily like at the same pace or like at the same level, but like I never have to ask people to be there for me anymore and to be a good friend. And although it is super sad, like I was really sad about it for a long time, it truly is just so amazing. So I just want to encourage you that if you are going through that phase where you're like shedding a lot of people, I can promise you that there is another side to it. And like it happens at the perfect timing too. Like this happened probably like a couple months, I don't even remember. Time's been weird for me too. Probably like a couple months before I lost my dad, and like I was upset because I didn't feel as if she was being there for me. And I am also a confrontational person, but I'm not like what you would think that word would mean. Like I'm very much like, hey, like I'm feeling this way, like can we talk about it and see how you respond kind of thing. And so I did do that a couple times, and then I always ask too, like, is there something that's like bothering you about what I'm doing? And because I'm not a perfect human, like first to admit it, I make mistakes all the time. Sometimes I get caught up in my own world and I hate that. But I mess up probably daily. So I know that I'm not being a perfect friend too. And the response is always no. So I was just always so frustrated. I'm like, I always go like the extra mile. So why are you not meeting me an inch kind of thing? And it is scary when you have history with people to let them go and to see where your life takes you, because you're like, I don't want to start over with friendships, and I don't want to change my life and how it's been. But when I tell you it happened at like the most perfect time, because now the only people in my life are the ones who are like the most supportive, like encouraging cheerleaders, and I just adore them. And they meet me like at that deep emotional connection that I'm looking for, because believe it or not, friendships like are relationships. I know that that's like hard to believe, but friendships are relationships. So you have to put in effort to keep them, and you can't just expect everything to just be one-sided. And another thing that like has happened is I have like shed people who I've just like heard like gossiping about other people, not even me only, but like gossiping about other people. And I'm like, I don't want that. No, thank you. Because if you're gossiping about that person, like, what are you saying behind my back? That's so crazy. I feel as if friendships are there to encourage you and to constructively criticize you and talk about it in a certain way. And another theme that I feel like I've learned in friendships this year too is that like if you disagree with people on like big things, either you need to reevaluate how important that thing is, or you need to learn how to just like work around it. But the one thing that you should never ever do is put your friend down for the way that they think. That is so crazy. We are all different people with different opinions that come from different backgrounds. They have gone through different things. So we all bring things to the table of knowledge. And so you should live your life with an open mind, even like in the most craziest scenarios where you're like, that's an extreme opinion. Like, why would you have that? Like, just hear somebody else out. Open your mind to something that you've never heard before, because you might just learn something, rather than criticizing and degrading people for having a different opinion than you, and then completely getting rid of an almost 10-year friendship too. So those are just a little bit of the friendship things I've gone through, but friendship great things I have gone through. And I haven't really like touched on grief that deeply, but when my dad died, I went to the Fort Lauderdale area where my family lives for like a week and a half, obviously to like plan the funeral and just be with my family. And when I got back, first of all, my house looked like a garden. It was so beautiful on the inside. I couldn't help but wake up and smile. Hold on, guys. I can't talk and do this at the same time. I was gone for a week, maybe 10 days, something very long. And I got back and my house looked like a garden. I woke up every day. I truly couldn't help but smile because of all the love that I just felt. But another thing I did was I did not make dinner for 6 weeks, because my friends either brought food over for me, gave me like DoorDash gift cards. Like, they made sure I was fed. And I think that that is like something that when people lose someone, you're like, what can I do? Like, feed them, because I didn't want to eat, but I knew that like if I did get hungry, like it wasn't going to be hard for me to eat. Like, I wasn't going to have to make a full dinner or anything like that. My friend also knows that like when hard things happen, like I just have a really hard time sleeping. And so she, instead of like coming to the funeral, because it was going to be such a long drive for her and she wasn't feeling too good, and I completely like understood. She showed up in a way that like was so thoughtful, and like just came and spent 4 days in Tampa with me. So she knew that it wasn't going to sleep alone. And like, that truly just meant the whole world, because she knows me and she was so thoughtful. So before I curl my hair, we're just going to ADHD and move around topics too. I I like to spray it with hairspray and then dry shampoo. And a lot of people are like, my hair doesn't hold a curl, and I think that you might just be preparing it the wrong way, because my hair doesn't hold a curl unless I do this. I can't live without this stuff. It's the Sexy Hair Big Powder Play. You're in pageants, you know, and I've literally used this stuff for like 10 years. You just sprinkle a little bit, like, oops, that was probably way too much. But before I even tease it, look how volumized it is. You sprinkle the most little bit at your root, and then you tease a little bit. I don't know, I must have been a Southern belle in another life, because I love big hair and girly things. Right back on my Southern belle track, I do use clip-in extensions. My hair does not grow past this length. I've tried everything, like quite literally everything. So I have heard that like real sew-in extensions like ruin your hair. So I use these clip-ons, and you can curl them, straighten them. They're wonderful, and they don't damage my hair. I'm gonna put these on real quick, and then we'll continue. Okay, now that we've got my extensions in, I want to continue to brag about why my friends are such incredible people. Another thing my friend said, I got really close to all my cycle friends, and another thing my friend said I got really close to all my cycle friends is my sweet friend Greg would come over every Wednesday and watch The Summer I Turned Pretty with me, and like just giving me a space to like talk if I wanted to, but also we could just chill if we wanted to. And it was really nice to just like know I had somebody that was always uplifting me. But with my cycle friends, we just always planned something weekly to do, and it meant the whole world to me. So many people just went for walks and lunch, and I mean, like, when you're going through something hard, like, you just want to keep your friend busy, but giving them space to lean on you too. My whole point is that in your 20s especially, probably even your whole life, that you are going to go through chapters that are hard, and you're going to go through chapters that you feel so lonely because you are wondering why your whole world's changing and you're losing friends. And I encourage you to look in the mirror first, obviously, and think about how you can be better, because we are not perfect people. And even if we weren't the ones who ruined the friendship, you can improve on being a better friend in some way. You can't just have good friends. Like, you have to be a good friend to have good friends. But I just also want to encourage you to keep going, because you're going to find your people who are going to encourage you and lift you up and meet you where you're at, and not make you feel like why you weren't enough for somebody else to be there for you. And I'm just so happy that I have you as a listener, as a little sister. And if no one has told you today, I love you so, so, so much. I believe in you, and I'm so lucky to be one of your best friends.